April is Financial Literacy Month, and even though tax day just passed, it is time to start preparing for next year. So joining me now to break down where to start is Joanne Bradford, Chief Money Officer at flat fee planning firm Domain Money. Joanne, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Planning, we know, is crucial. People probably wouldn't take a breath, but why is it important to now start for next year?
Well, so you're either getting a tax refund or a tax bill right now. And so you really have to be ahead of it and figure out what you're going to do with that refund or why you had a tax bill and maybe make some adjustments to your benefits, status. Maybe you got married, maybe you got divorced. There's a lot of things that can happen, but you have to be ahead of it. Most people do not really pay attention, and then they're surprised. Nobody wants an April surprise.
Yeah, an April surprise in terms of owing money is not necessarily fun, or maybe not making as much money, receiving as much money as you expected. What do you think our viewers need to know in order to set themselves up for financial success this year?
Well, the first thing is that you just need to make an assessment. Most people avoid it. They avoid it like the plague, If you ask people exactly what their salary is, they usually can't get it within a few $1,000s. If you ask them how much of their money is in a 401k, they don't know. 4 out of 10 people do not put money in their 401k. That's like getting free tickets to Taylor Swift concert and not going, right? Just a big mistake. So make sure you sign up for your 401k and max it out. Mm-hmm. It's really one of the most important things you can do. I started when I was 21. I now have enough money to retire and a pension, so it's all good. But I started when I was 21. I'm 60 now.
Yeah, so compounding interest, right, definitely is your friend. The longer you can stay in the market, I think, the better.
Yeah.
What should our viewers know when it comes to interest rates, right? So inflation has proven sticky. I think anyone shopping, doing their own shopping probably knows that. And the Fed chair saying just yesterday that he does expect rates to at least remain where they are until there is more progress on inflation. And so how should someone navigate their finances based on that information?
Well, I mean, there's everything. The number one question we get, do you rent versus buy? I would say that in this environment, probably renting for people that are buying houses in the $1 million range or less is probably a better situation, and then waiting until interest rates adjust or they find the house they want. But do the comparison. Say, if I rent and I pay or I buy and I pay taxes and all of the things that come with home ownership, or I rent right now and then get to a better place and a better buying opportunity, either on price or interest rate, take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. And planning these things is super important.
Mm-hmm. What's the best way to go about planning?
Well, I mean, at Domain Money, we offer a flat fee financial plan. People that have a plan are way better off. I know everybody doesn't want to pay $2,500, but a lot of people are paying 1% of assets under management. They don't even know how much they're paying. If you have a financial advisor, ask them what their fees are. Most people don't do that. But actually go through the exercise of saying, how much money do I have coming in? How much money do I have going out? Am I saving? Am I investing? What are my goals? You might want a house with a picket fence. You might want to travel the world. You might want a year's sabbatical. You may have gotten laid off. You have to have a plan. And some people cannot do it without a professional. They just literally can't bring themselves to do it on their own. It's why, people have gyms. It's why, all sorts of things in life. People need help, and you need help with your money.
Mm-hmm. So you would recommend that someone take advantage of a 1% fee for advice or not?
No, I do not. Look, I think that most people do not calculate how much it costs. You can put your money in low-cost ETFs. I just don't think paying 1% fees when you're not aware of it over a long period of time is the right thing to do. And I have real principles and beliefs about it, and that's why I joined Domain Money, is so you could actually have transparency. You don't need to readjust your financial plan every year. You should maybe look at it, but we'll give you a checkup for $300 or $500 after you've had the initial plan to make any adjustments. So we're trying to break up the 1% fee, but the financial industry does not want that to happen. They love that AUM. They love the compounding of your fees. We're trying to push back on that and help people.
And why is that? From personal experience?
Yeah, I mean, look, I had financial advisors. I had a financial advisor from, Morgan Stanley, and I was paying a lot of money and not getting the service that I needed. I actually used the financial planner from Domain Money for a flat fee plan while I had Morgan Stanley, and she actually answered the questions I wanted answered for my life. Could I retire? Could I take the trips? Can my kids go to college? Can I buy the other house? Most investment advisors want to tell you, this is the return on that fund. This is the return on that fund. Well, that's important to me. It's not sufficient for my life or for what I want to do. So sometimes having a conversation with someone that isn't commissioned or conflicted is just a better thing. And I really believe in that. I hate financial service fees. Hate them across the board. Commissions, all of it, just really bothers me.
Mm-hmm. So it is Financial Literacy Month, and you've been giving us, a great kind of checkup here in terms of what we should be knowing about our own money. Knowledge, it sounds like, is most important, and then a plan. Obviously, having a plan in action to pursue that is important as well. When should people start the planning process?
Well, I mean, I think you have to start the planning process pretty much. I've had a job since I was 14. I've paid taxes since I was 14. I've always had a plan, whether it was for a vacation, a house, my family, my kids' college education. I'm always forward-looking about my money. So I think it's great that there's all, the TikTokers doing financial education now. They really want you to do a worksheet, which is the first step. There's a long journey into that, right? Like, that's like doing a blood pressure test when you have a ton of other things that you have to take care of. So really see it all the way through and make sure that you are active and vigilant about your own money.
I know you mentioned earlier the dynamics between renting versus buying, and that in this environment, if you are looking at a house, let's say $1 million or more, a property $1 million or more, with interest rates as high as they are, it might make sense to rent, try to get yourself in a better position, and then buy. When would those dynamics change? I mean, how should someone consider, okay, maybe the goal is in 5 years, or when interest rates hit a certain number, that should be my time frame for wanting to make a move?
There's a few variables in it, as our financial planner team will tell you. Your down payment, so how much down payment you have. Are you better off keeping your money in the market making money so you can increase your down payment and lower your principal on it and your interest rate? Also, like opportunistic buying, being able, if you find a property you love, being able to get it. So those two factors are key. So if you were going to buy $1 million house and you could save $400,000 and put it down on it versus the $200,000, that's probably better for you because it gets you closer in line with the renting situation. So increase your down payment, watch the interest rate, and make sure that you are prepared when you're going to go buy, that you have a pre-approval for loan, that you are ready to hop on it. I've bought and sold a few homes, and being prepared with the qualification and all of those things helps you close more quickly.
And I see here actually that you did have an experience with this firsthand.
Yeah, I did.
You lost money by buying, and maybe that's a story that our viewers can find inspirational or might resonate with them. So share more about that.
Yeah, I was the COO at a company called SoFi for 4 years, and I was commuting an hour and a half each way. And I said, this is just untenable. I'm going to buy a condo in the marina in San Francisco. Who doesn't want to do that? That would be the greatest value in the entire world. I did it in 2017. I lost $150,000 on it. 2 years into it, I decided I didn't want to live in the marina. And so when I went to sell it, I took a $150,000 loss, probably a little bit more than that because of commission and costs I put into it. I should have just rented and figured out if I liked it there and not sunk costs. I checked yesterday to see what the price was there. It has gone down another $100,000. And everybody said real estate in San Francisco will never go down in price. So between now and then, I should have just rented. It was an expensive lesson, but a lesson that I did learn.
Yeah. And finally, last bit of advice for our viewers during Financial Literacy Month.
Well, I think really take stock. If you need a one-page financial plan model, go look at Domain Money. We have an example of what it looks like. You don't have to pay us to do it. If you could do it yourself, I would be thrilled, right? But a lot of people need to pay for some help, flat fee help. Start the conversation. Talk to your partners, your loved ones, your parents about money. If you do not talk about it regularly, it's as if it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, it's usually not there. So you have to really, really examine your money, take stock in it, look at it, and plan.
All right, Joanne Bradford, Chief Money Officer at Domain Money. Joanne, thank you.
Thank you so much.